dude,
I also didn't go to high school.
Yeah.
So
High school?
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't go to high school?
No, we did high school, but it was like set school. Yeah.
It was like online school, and actually 2 years, I just kind of tested out and went to junior college.
Did you do the GED, whatever? What is that
Yeah, the
called?
California High School Proficiency
Right.
Yeah.
exam, and then just went straight to junior college,
love
which is
that
cool
you
because
know
then
that.
me and my older brother were synced up and went to junior college together.
that's cool.
Oh, wow.
And it was very fun. Yeah.
My first kiss was our kiss on the show. That was my first on-screen
What
kiss.
the
Wait,
fuck
are
did
you
just
kidding me?
say?
Not my first kiss ever. My first on-screen kiss.
On screen,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
you
think it
guys
was
nervous?
Wizards Unleashed. I was super
did-
nervous. Was that your first
Did you know
on-screen
that
kiss?
that we
Or no?
were married and divorced? Because apparently,
Yeah,
everyone
everybody
just
thinks you guys are
says
married.
that.
So every time your OnlyFans stuff gets brought up, everyone's like, so, and his girlfriend since 2009, Jennifer Stone. I'm like, no, like I love Dan, but we just
People
never
just
went
make
that
this
way.
stuff
just make
up.
that shit up. But
Like,
yeah, I didn't know we were divorced. That's a shame.
Yeah, so-
but at least it's amicable. But so
what was your question?
My
But just so
question
everybody
was-
knows,
What?
you guys weren't really divorced.
No,
No.
we never dated.
Okay,
Like you
so
had
okay,
lovely
but-
girlfriends when we were on the show that were awesome, but I was not one of them. But no, was that your first on-screen kiss or no? You can say no. It's okay
I'm trying to think.
because you were older than I was too.
Yes, I think that was my first on-screen kiss.
All
Yeah.
right.
But also, it's a
weird thing.
a sitcom kiss.
Yeah, it was
It's
very.
a little-
I remember them being like, because I was of course me, and I was like, well, I got to make this look saucy because I'm selling it, you know.
Saucy.
And then they were like, close your mouth, and I was like, well, that's not really making it for anybody, you know what I mean? I was like, no
Jen.
dude's gonna watch this and be like, I want to kiss her.
I mean, didn't we have like a weird bend over?
It was very strange.
It was the
What was
most-
the
very.
episode again? Do you remember that?
I think it was Wizards Unleashed. Wizards Unleashed. That's what it was.
I will go back
Yeah.
now
and then Zeke passed out after I kissed him. Yeah.
Always, they'd always find a way to
it was
fit
a
that in.
it was a rigor mortis like lean in.
But
Kiss,
it was
pass out.
it was the moment prior to passing out that was always so funny.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the I'm going down.
My body like overloads with
Yeah,
like
totally.
energy.
Okay, we gotta go.
I don't know how to put it. But so you're doing OnlyFans, and how is that?
How'd that happen?
Yeah, how did it happen? How's it going?
Well, during my Wizards days,
What? I mean, how does it feel? Because it's affected you. Everybody knows
Yeah.
this. You're out there, and
Yeah.
there was Fox did a piece on you and stuff.
A
right?
piece
They
on
did-
your
yeah.
on your piece.
on Dan.
I'm sorry.
And-
If I
but,
don't.
it's a
It's
crazy
hard not to
thing.
make jokes. Yeah,
it is
tell
a
us.
crazy thing. But basically, while working on Wizards, about season 4, I got catfished and was so dumb because I was sending
You were
nude,
also, like,
nude
in your early
photos
20s, right?
to someone I thought was a real
You're
person.
not alone. That happens to a lot of people.
And so that happened. And so eventually on my social media, that stuff had just permeated the internet for a long enough time that the people would kept discovering it. Well, I ended up finding out that people were selling that content online on websites.
Oh shit.
And so obviously that was like a traumatic experience to go through, to realize this. And also you're upset because people are taking this stuff and making money from it. And so anyway, but I did get a lot of followers who were fans of that kind of content.
Right.
But to the point where I was like, I almost had to delete my Instagram because my Instagram at that time was not geared for that. And mentally I wasn't in a place that I was like thinking about doing that stuff. So I couldn't escape it though. It felt like
Yeah.
I had to start over and try and like just avoid it, or eventually as I got into my early mid 30s, I was just like, I don't know, this isn't a big deal to me anymore, and like this is an opportunity. I felt like more so than anything else, because I also had friends like Bella Thorne had kind of made a big splash in news by
Like a
doing
fucking $1
OnlyFans.
million in about an hour.
Yeah. So, and her sister is one of my good friends, Kylie. And so I reached out to Kylie and I was like, yo, what's this like? What's the process like? And she kind of helped me discover like what it would take to start that kind of thing. I started a Patreon just to kind of see what it would be like to, like, I don't know. By that time, I'd gotten into bodybuilding pretty heavily after
I
Wizards.
remember that.
Just so everybody knows, Dan is very fit and in excellent shape.
Because I remember I ran into you like at a party or something after, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm really into CrossFit." And
I
you were
was
super into it.
I got my heart broken, and then that's when you just work out that kind of
Yeah.
energy. So I
Yeah,
got
been
heavily into
there.
bodybuilding. I got up to like 170 pounds.
Yeah, you got really big.
which I thought would be a great transition from my acting career. Turns out it was a terrible decision from an acting perspective because that's not my energy. You know, it's not my like aura at that time. It was
Well,
very
I think we
strange.
both have in common that we're more the friends of someone with the high energy and the fun, and going into being the lead actually is a little more. It's boring. It's the you
it just
brute
doesn't
a little
fit
more.
me.
You know?
At that time, I think as I maybe get more into adulthood, it might work, but
gotta
it's not
grow
my
into it a little
essence.
bit more.
And I kind of I didn't realize that at the time, but I was really shooting myself in the foot in terms of not speaking to my my strengths there. But now looking back, I've been bodybuilding for the last 10 years. My roommate at the time was Ryan Kelly, who was on Teen Wolf, Deputy Parrish, and of course every person on Teen Wolf is
Jags.
the hottest human alive and have perfect bodies and all this stuff. But he really kind of took me under his wing, and we went and worked out every single day and got heavily into bodybuilding. And so now I'm very thankful and that you look back and things that seem like mistakes
Oh yeah.
become absolutely like, oh no, that was actually perfect for me. It just takes a longer time for it to manifest.
And you really embraced it and accepted it and made it your own, and you made friends with it. And I think that's so great. And I think there's so many people that are like, oh no, this is terrible. I very quickly, I'm getting a horse for my birthday. This is so great. And then you fall off and you break your leg. Oh
Right.
no.
I was like, you're getting
but
a
then
horse,
the draft
congratulations.
happens, and because you broke your leg, you don't have to go to, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing is,
Over time.
I think bouncing off that weird horse metaphor, is basically the fact that it's like I don't really believe in mistakes. Is because and I think that things happen exactly the way that they're supposed to.
And I just rewatched the Pamela Anderson documentary. I just watched that. But I watched it, and the invasion of privacy that happened back then from their videotapes was not allowed. But if you're accepting it and you're wanting that to happen, it's a totally different story.
Well, I think it's really powerful, and I love that you mentioned this of taking ownership when it feels because it's a feeling of somebody taking your body and taking ownership of something that isn't theirs to own, and so taking back that ownership, I think, is a really empowering. It has to be a really empowering.
It felt so
thing.
good to take away the power, and especially that like, oh, these people are out there making money doing this.
Yeah, that's
Turns
so
out,
shitty.
well, you're probably not making as much money now, are you?
Yeah.
Guess who's making the money from that now?
from
you know?
from you. You know what I
But
mean?
it's like-
It's
but
your
I
thing.
took that power back.
Yeah.
Because you do feel like you're taken advantage of.
Of course.
And to take that and be like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just take this back and take ownership of this and take this horrible thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
And turn it into one of the biggest opportunities in my life to make something that I enjoy and like and can,
which is wonderful.
thrive
And it's
in.
also a little taboo because this Disney kid, you know what I mean, is doing very adult grown up stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe that's I think all the Disney kids usually kind of like, maybe not so much Jen, but like get fucked up, do drugs, and then come around and are okay
I was
again,
just very
kind of.
I mean, my motto
Not
was
to
always,
say that that's what you did, but you
No.
know what
No,
I, you know
I
what
get
I
it.
mean.
I get
but
it.
my motto was always be smart about being stupid. So I was
Be smart about
even when
being
I was a kid,
stupid.
I was
I
like,
love
be
that.
smart about being stupid. So I was smart about what I did. I was smart about where it went, who I sent things to, how I, whether I was public about it. So I was not innocent by any means.
It seems to be though in society now, and I don't do I'm not as cool as I seem, but I think it's okay now. I think the stigma of that, and by the way, like my wife is European, they go on the beach and they're naked and they're this, and
Yeah,
it's not
it's
a
such
big
an
deal.
odd-
Like in America, we're like, oh my God, we saw a nipple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what's cool about like the current generation is the fact that I think it is a generation of more acceptance and looking to explore and be more open to things, which unfortunately, like at the time, when we did Wizards, it wasn't that. It was a lot more closed-minded and you fit this cookie cutter mold. And, and now I think it's more about reinvention and changing the narrative of like what normal or what you're supposed to be and supposed to. I think they're kind of throwing it out the window, which I think is great.
100%. And we didn't have cell phones back then. There's an episode
I kinda wish
of
we
Curb
didn't
Your
now,
Dragon
but-
where David takes out an actual camera and clicks. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
have phones.
boy.
I remember that
I have a
Twitter
love-hate
started
relationship with it.
while we were doing this. And so social media and all that stuff has completely changed everything. I mean, it used to be like, I don't even know if you guys know, but Teen Beat. There was like a magazine.
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Tiger
Or-
Beat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had a like a Ask a Jen column in Tiger Beat.
No, you didn't.
I
I love
did.
that.
With that-
Which who the hell was I to give any advice at that time?
And that you have wonderful advice. And at 14, Jen was 40. You know what I
That
mean?
is
She
true.
was very,
She's
now
a
I'm
very old soul.
75.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this clip of Wizards of Waverly Pod. And for the full episode, go to the Wizards Pod YouTube channel. The link is in the description.
And for exclusive weekly bonus content, join our Patreon now. There's a link in the description for that too. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.